So gatekeeping is a term that gets thrown around in the YouTube tech space a lot these days, and it's time that I address it by making a video about it. Now, for additional context to the video, there is a YouTuber named Don the Developer who created a video titled Why You Should Be Thanking Developers Who Gatekeep. So after this video, you should go and watch his video so get more context. And I want to address the act of gatekeeping in this one. Now, massive disclaimer, these are opinions, not facts. I'm just here placing my opinions on the act of gatekeeping. Now let's start with what is gatekeeping, and it is the activity of withholding information or limiting access to certain information. Now in the tech culture, how it gets into action is some YouTubers tell the viewers that they don't belong here if they don't meet a certain set of criteria or don't fulfill a certain set of requirements. And in my opinion, this act is evil. We shouldn't be telling people that they don't belong here. Doesn't matter if we portray it in a good way or a bad way. And the reason for that is that the students are scared nevertheless. We can create videos about gatekeeping. We can tell people that you belong here or you don't belong here. And it would not matter because the students who don't have a job, they are scared nevertheless. Every day they are faced with this reality that their entire lives are dependent on one person saying, yes, you are hired. And their whole life is changed after that. So it doesn't matter if we tell people that you should do this React bootcamp for 15 days and in 3 months you should be able to land a job. Or in a pessimistic way, we shouldn't be telling people that if you don't do the hard work, if you don't put in the time, that you never belonged here. None of the opinions are justified. But the reality is that the tech industry is not going to change. Good developers will always land jobs, but there will be bad actors always in it. Or at least what we deem as bad actors. There is no inherent bad actors. So let's go through some arguments about gatekeeping and let me debunk it one by one. So the first argument that I hear about gatekeeping is that the expectation bar is so much higher than what it used to be. And to me, it sounds like over-romanticization of the past, which I have talked about it before. We do have a bias of thinking that things were a lot better in the old days. I got my start in 2017 as a web developer. And do you think was it easy? Do you think I just showed up to a company, applied in it, and got a job just like that? I never faced rejection. There was no competition back in 2017. There was. There always will be competition. There still is competition. And there will be competition. So why are we scaring people into telling them that the expectation bar is so much higher than what it used to be? We cannot compare these stats, can we? There is no bar that you should be on this level to get a job in 2017 and you should be up here if you want to get a job in 2024. So why are we saying these things? I am very big on this over-romanticization of the past thing, where I truly believe that just because we got our start in the tech sector, we think that what worked for us will work for everyone else. And it's called survivor bias. It happens to all of us. Just because we accomplished something in our time, we think that that's what it takes for other people to achieve it also. That's what you hear about the OG creators. That if you do open source contribution, if you create a LinkedIn network, then you will definitely land a job. But the word definitely is problematic. There is no such thing called a definite path to success. Which is why I always tell people that if you are passionate about tech, if you genuinely like tech, and computer science does interest you, then you should be here and you should apply more and more. Because at the stage of wanting a job and applying for a job and getting rejections, everybody thinks that they don't belong here. And even after landing a job, the imposter syndrome, which you might have heard of, is also a thing. People who do land a job, they get into the workplace, they look around and they see a bunch of things that doesn't make sense to them, and they start thinking to themselves that they don't belong here. But the reality is that we should never stop our learning. Doesn't matter if we have a job or not. The gatekeepers always want you to believe that if you land a job, then it's all like smooth sailing from that point. But it's not true. If anything, landing a job is more terrifying than not landing a job. Because when you do land a job, now the responsibility falls on you to be able to hold the job. You should work even harder to make sure that you don't get fired or you don't get laid off due to underperformance or low performance. So where is this concept coming in the first place? That if you don't do this, that if you don't achieve this, then you shouldn't get to be here. I am in this industry for 8 years. And do you think that I know everything? I don't. Even if you take the tech stacks that I am good at, which is Laravel and Node.js, you could ask me questions on it, the difficult questions on it, and it would make me crumble like a Lego sculpture hit with a wrecking ball. Because that's the reality that I have come to accept, that I cannot know everything. I do not know everything. There are people who will be less experienced than me, who will have a ton more knowledge than me, and there will be a lot more senior people than me who will have less knowledge than me. The vice versa is also true. Seniors having a lot more information than me and juniors knowing a lot less than me. So this learning curve is never really stagnant. The tech industry is one of those industries where the learning never stops. I have met people in this industry who are 20 years experience, 25-year experience, and they openly say that they don't know everything. They cannot know everything. And sometimes even they feel like they are imposters, that they feel like they don't belong here. So where is this sentiment even coming from? Does it not sound like a superiority complex? Does it not sound like a narcissistic way of saying that you don't belong here, but I do, because I have done those things that I have set and I have made up these set of requirements that we get to tell people that they don't belong here? Doesn't matter what stage of life you are in, there is always more for you to learn. And whether you land a job or you don't land a job, there always will be more for you to learn. Your learning never stops. If anything, the hard work that you are putting in right now as a student will be nothing compared to the hard work that you will put in when you have a job. Because there are actual stakes now involved. That you landed a job, fine, but you have to stay at that job. You have to make sure that your employer doesn't fire you. You have to make sure that your performance metrics are up compared to everyone else in the company, or just good enough that you don't get fired. And that's terrifying. But this opinion of telling people that they don't belong here, are actively trying to gatekeep things by scaring them off, is evil to me. And that's the next argument that I hear. That if you are so scared so easily, then you never belonged here in the first place. Ugh. That's like taking your car and ramming a group of people and then saying, well, they would be dead in 50 to 70 years anyway. And that is such a crap mentality when someone says these things. Students are scared. They are. Their whole lives depend on one interviewer saying, yes, you are hired. And that is terrifying. Getting rejections is also terrifying. I have been there, sitting in an interview room thinking that this yes or no will change my life. If I get a yes, then it gets real for me from that point. I have to make sure that my employer doesn't find a better employee and doesn't replace me. And if I get a no, I'm going to be devastated and my confidence is going to take a hit in the next interview. Where if somebody lowballs me or gives me a crap offer, I might accept it, thinking that better take this than risk another rejection in 5 more interviews from now. So students are scared already. All of the things of being in this tech sector is terrifying if you think about it. All of it is scary. Not having a job, applying for a job, getting rejected, getting accepted, staying at the office, long hours, working hard on the product that you have to work, just so your team leader doesn't say to management that this guy is not good enough. All of it is terrifying. There are so many things that is outside your control in the tech sector. What if the company you are working at goes under, goes bankrupt, and has to lay you off? Now you're back on the market and you have to find a new one and just hope that things don't blow up in that company. We have all seen the layoffs that have happened. Do you think it's the skill issue of those employees that got them laid off? It isn't. I have said it before and I'll say it again. You should work on your skills. You should be better than who you were yesterday. If you learned 5 things in the last 5 months, you should learn 10 things in the next 6 months. You should strive for more and more. But I am going to motivate you rather than scare you off into saying that if you don't do this, then you don't belong here. Is there a deadline of you don't do this, so you don't belong here? You can take the next 2 years studying and working on your skills, and then you can come and apply in the tech sector, or not. Just apply today and get rejected, and then you will be hit with the reality that what the tech sector is expecting from you. If you are somebody who has done their time, who has put in the hard work, and you feel like you are ready, it is also terrifying to get that yes from an interviewer. To not let your self-doubt hit you in the interview room thinking that you're not good enough, so you don't deserve a good salary. You have to work on your soft skills. You have to learn how to be able to sell yourselves to an interviewer so that you can achieve the highest salary that you can. And you have to realize that building a career requires decades of work. It's not so simple as landing a job and there you have a career. You don't. We don't. We can work 15, 20 years at a company and we can get laid off just like that. Building a career is not so easy. But I'm going to hit you with the realistic view of the tech industry. I'm going to hit you with what's real. I'm not trying to scare you off into saying that if you don't do this, you don't belong here. None of us belong here if we think about it. Every engineer can be hit with one problem that is so hard to solve for them that if they can't do it, then we can tell them that you don't belong here either. So when you hear about these influencers or tech creators telling you that you don't belong here, it's a crap opinion. Because who told them that they belong here? Do you ever think to yourself that who told this creator that they belong here? Everybody can be hit with one problem that they cannot solve and they can be made to convince that they don't belong here as well. Now coming to Don the developer's video about why we should be thanking developers who gatekeep. And I'm going to be upfront, I like the video. I like the intent that Don was saying that yeah, we should be working hard. You should have a passion for tech. And you're going to face rejections, but you have to be resilient. You have to be mentally strong to do these things. But the interaction that I had with him in the comment section is what hurt me so much, seeing the mentality that these creators have. And that's what happened in the comment section when I commented that although I do appreciate the stance that he took, which means that I did appreciate that he went against the grain and he hit people with the hard reality that the expectation is high. But I did appreciate it. It's always very refreshing to see somebody going against the grain and saying the hard reality that people need to hear. And that's what I meant, that we shouldn't be saying to anybody who deserves to be here and who doesn't. Whether positive or negative, it's going to affect people in a bad way. Even if we are optimistic and we tell people that you should do this React bootcamp for 15 days and in 3 months you should be able to land a job. And if they don't, that's going to affect them badly. Or if we say that if you don't do this, you don't belong here, that's also going to scare them even more than they already are. So we should be thankful that it worked out for us and we have a job, but we shouldn't jump ahead and make predictions for other people's behalf. We shouldn't be saying to people that it's going to work out for you or it's not going to work out for you. We should be letting people find out what happens to them in their own journey. So this was my intention of saying that we shouldn't need these videos, but I accidentally wrote, you shouldn't make these videos, which I never intended to say it that way. I'm not here to tell creators what opinions they should have or anything like that. I'm just sharing my opinion, but I worded it a little wrong, so it came off a certain way. So then some commenters jumped in and Don said that gatekeeping, that I'm trying to gatekeep his opinions on gatekeeping. So the irony, and he laughed about it. And it made him smile and he would want to make more videos about it, which I was happy about. I never want to tell creators what videos they are not allowed to make. I was just sharing my opinion. And that was my intent was. However, it came off a certain way where I think I'm at fault. So then some commenter jumped in and they said that nobody should be needing these videos because there are so many videos of day in the life of software engineer who just gets to eat all day and make 250K in salary. And I agreed with that yeah, we shouldn't be needing these videos. The tech industry is difficult. The tech industry is hard to break into. You are going to face a lot of rejections. So that commenter got it exactly how I wanted to say it. But then some other commenter jumped in and they started saying that I target creators and I tell people what they should be saying and I'm trying to project my opinions on Don. And that's where it hurt. Because I felt like if I kept explaining myself what my intent is and what I'm trying to say to every commenter out there, I'm going to be spending all day on YouTube. So I just said, please read my comment again with context, please. And that's when Don jumped in, saying that I mooch off of YouTubers' drama and I tell people what opinions they're allowed to have and what videos they should be creating. Now, with all due respect, and trust me, I say this with all due respect, you are a bigger creator than me, Don, but you're not big enough to get drama out of when it comes to me. watch my other video on YouTube Coders Are Lying to You, and add up the number of subscribers of the channels that I called out. It easily crosses 20 million. And I never thought twice about it. So you thinking that you are such a big deal that I'm trying to use you to get drama is mind-blowing to me. If I really wanted to get drama out of you, I wouldn't be targeting you. With all due respect, I would not be targeting you. I would go to Fireship, I would go to Tech with Tim, I would go to other channels that are 10, 20 times bigger than you, and I could get drama off of them. So it kind of blew me away when you typecasted me like that, saying that all I do here on YouTube is call other people out and try to get drama out of them. It's mind-blowing. So that's when I decided to clarify things. I thought that maybe we got off to a wrong start and I should jump in and I should clarify what I really wanted to say. And I told him that I didn't mean you. I meant all of us content creators. We shouldn't be saying these things. And I specifically mentioned that I do have this problem of saying things in a way that come off a different way than what I meant. And Don confirmed it. He immediately hit me with a victimhood keyword. And I wasn't being a victim. I was just saying it. Not everything is me trying to act like a victim. I don't have to act like a victim. I do own my shit. I do own what I say. But you saying that I'm trying to become a victim is proving my point. That yeah, I said something in a way, it came off a different way, and you confirmed it. So how can you say that I'm a victim in this scenario? So this is what prompted me to make a video on this. Okay, so this hurt me, that no matter how much I tried to convey my feelings in a correct way and tried to clarify things over and over, I got typecasted into saying that I'm just a YouTuber who mooches off of other YouTubers' drama and tells people what opinions they are allowed to have and what videos they should be creating. And that's ridiculous. But at the end of this video, I really want to say that I have no problems with Don. His video is really amazing. I think the intent is correct, but how it came off and what the reactions I got from the creator was confirming my own bias. That yeah, gatekeepers are toxic people. And I saw it right in front of me. This really bothered me and I just wanted to make a video about it. That's about it. See you.